everybody's got the same question. All right, so I mean, I guess I want to make sure I talk about last game, last play, all that stuff, because I assume that's what everybody really wants to talk about. And I think it's important. It's hard coming in here on Tuesdays sometimes because we've already put it behind us to a certain extent or done the best we could and talked to our players, and it's on to the next game. So I just want to kind of tell you my feelings on it, and then maybe that'll lead to any questions you guys have. You guys know I've always tried to be open and honest. First, I want to say this, and this is from my heart. I think some of the criticism of Coach Jones is unfair. You know, I made the call on the last play, and I'll talk about what went into the thinking on that and all those things. The thing I give this team, and him specifically, a lot of credit for, 2 weeks ago we go to Georgia Tech, we're down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of the game against a Paul Johnson coach team that rarely ever loses a game when they're up in the second half. And the players had the fortitude, the coaching staff had the calmness to help the team come back and win that game. And this week, to be down 10 points 2 different times in the fourth quarter against Florida, I thought it was a tremendous credit to Coach Jones, to the staff, and to the players specifically to battle back and put us in a position to win the game. I think it's very, very, very unfortunate. I don't know that we deserve to win the game because we made a lot of mistakes, but I don't think this team deserved to lose in the manner that it did on Saturday. Then I assume everybody's questions about the last play, and I'll just talk about that a little bit. We talked, we knew, certainly we were talking when we had possession of the ball as a defensive staff, well, what do you think? Okay, if we score a touchdown, here's what they're going to do. If they kick a field goal to tie the game, here's what they're going to do. As you guys may or may not know, Florida has an outstanding kicker. I mean, a guy can kick 55, 60-yard field goals. And so when they got that first down, we thought they were going to play for, getting the ball in that 35 to 40-yard area and kick a long field goal. And that's still, if you watch the play, to describe the last touchdown as a Hail Mary is an inaccurate description of play. To me, the description, I would describe it as a basketball player hitting a three-quarter court shot to win a game at the end of the game. I mean, that's what it was more like than anything. It was a fluky type play. Not apologizing, not making excuses or anything like that. Our strategy on that last play was watch them come out of the huddle. If they come out in a huddle that's a Hail Mary type formation, call timeout and reset the defense. They did not do that. We were in I'm not going to tell you the name of the coverage, but we were in quarter half. So we had 4 over 3 to the 3 receiver side, and we had 3 over 2 to the backside. Justin Martin, Mike Abernathy, and Cortez Sapp over the backside. The back blocked, so essentially became 2 over 1. If you actually watch the play, Felipe Franks went to his first key, wasn't there. We took away the play. We took away the play that they ran, which is the irony of the whole thing, really, right? Batuli, Galden, Mosley, and Warrior were dead on the play. Dead on the play. And then Kongbo got a little too far up the field. I thought that was something we didn't do a very good job of. We should have done a little bit better job with the pass rush, not letting him set his feet. And so he looked at 1, looked at 2, looked at 3, started to run. And oddly, I feel as if it had been the second or third quarter of the game, he'd have just run. That's what he'd have run. But then he said, I can't run. I got to do something. And somehow, some way, he made eye contact with Cleveland. And you actually see them, Cleveland point and him point. And he just kind of was falling backwards, and I sort of wish Cortez Sapp would have been a little more explosive and knocked the dog crap out of him right there, but he didn't. And he threw a dime, and the player got behind our player, and it was a disastrous ending. And it's a shame because what hurts is I don't feel bad. I feel bad for our players. I feel bad for the people in this building, and I feel bad for our fans because I would have liked to see that one go to overtime. I think that would have been a hell of a game. And the thing that I think gets lost in it is everybody looks at that last play, but it was a really pretty good effort there's some individual efforts and a pretty good effort by the defense out there throughout 3.5 quarters of the game. And that's something we got to look at. Interestingly, right? The first 3 weeks of the year now, you start to kind of develop a little bit of an identity. And we've only given up 20 points in the first half this year of all 3 games combined. 14 against Georgia Tech, 6 this week, and 0 against Indiana State, who, by the way, put up about 570 yards the other day against Liberty, who beat Baylor. So, they're going to be a pretty good team when it's all said and done. So, the kids have played hard at the beginning. We've actually played at a decent level through the first half of the game. And even in the third quarter games, we've only given up 2 other touchdowns, one against Georgia Tech and one on a short field against Indiana State. What we need to do a better job is finishing. Against Georgia Tech, we gave up a touchdown in the fourth quarter and 2 touchdowns in overtime. And this week, obviously, we gave up 13 points in the fourth quarter and really they had another long run that it hadn't been for an effort by Justin Martin, could have been another scorer. So, it's the same things are showing up. We're playing to our style of play, but not consistent enough to beat really, really good teams. And again, the fourth quarter, I give Justin Martin all the credit in the world for that effort. That was just a tremendous, tremendous play. That's 3 times that's happened in the last 2 years. Guys chased a guy down and batted the ball in the end zone. I don't think I've had that happen in the rest of my career. So to him, Malik Foreman, and Cortez McDowell, who did it last year, those are great efforts. Rashawn Galden was all over the field, blitzing. Had an interception. Gave the offense the ball in field position to score at the end right there. So there's some really, really good individual efforts out there that are spoiled by obviously the finish to that game. And again, as I said, I take responsibility. It's my responsibility to finish those things, and it is what it is. And it's hard, but you have to move on. And we're 2-1, and really, like I said, it's very difficult coming in here and talking on Tuesday when in some ways Sunday you put it behind you, Monday when you meet with the players you put it behind you. Now you're trying to focus on the next game.
Bob, just to clarify that last play one more time, there was some discussion about you could not play 6 defensive backs. Was that the case? And why did you not want to play 6 defensive backs, given what you had in front of you time-wise, their field position, all those things?
We have had some injuries, and obviously Todd Kelly got hurt, in the middle of the week and kind of put us a little bit, behind the 8 ball with personnel. And to put a 6 defensive, we hadn't played that personnel grouping in that game the entire time. It would have been putting someone in the game on the last play that hadn't played the whole time. So we were a little uncomfortable with that. Obviously, if we'd have felt they were throwing a Hail Mary, we'd have done that. And I don't remember the rest of your question.
Well, that was just...
Yeah, we thought that was... I wanted to rush 4 people. It's funny. I wish someday you guys could be on the headphones. You could hear some of the conversations. Hey, what are the kids thinking? Hey, coach, they're thinking, rush 4 and play that particular coverage. And if you watch the 2 snaps prior to that, was the best we played that coverage the whole game. Rashawn Galden made a great play on a 3-yard gain. The quarterback had to pull it down then on the next play and scrambled for 4 yards. And you're sitting there going, okay, and nobody anticipates, the quarterback making a scramble, set down, and just launching a ball. And we all understand that nobody can get behind us in that situation. The players, the coaches. It doesn't take Bill Belichick to coach that one up, and we're very, very, very disappointed with how the game ended. But I think we've got a good group of people in that room and on this team. Good leader in the head football coach, who I thought the way he handled the team post game and yesterday was as good as I've been around in a long, long time. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to galvanize as a team and move forward.
As for the fourth quarter, you talked about style of play. Are you concerned that you're losing your style of play late because of fatigue and volume of snaps or anything like that?
Hard to say volume of snaps. I don't want to use that. I think the opening game that could have been the excuse, but the last 2 games, India State we played fine, but we didn't have a lot of snaps this week, and it was the long run. It's big plays again. I mean, you take away the 72-yard run and the 63-yard pass, they had 230 yards or 240 yards or whatever it was right there. So I said this before, offensively you can play 55 bad snaps and 3 good snaps and score 21 points. And defensively you can play 55 great snaps and 3 bad snaps and you stink. And right now that's been our Achilles heel for the year and a half that I've been here, that we don't just give up big plays, we give up catastrophic type plays. It's not a 15 or 25-yard run, it's a long play. And we've got to work hard, and we are working hard to minimize those things and do a better job in that.
Where you at with your
result you got out of your blitzes?
Yeah, there were some good ones. I mean, Jumper had a sack on a blitz. I thought Galden in the run game had some blitzes that were good. Nigel Warrior missed maybe a sack, but forced the ball to be thrown out of bounds, I think. So, I mean, we were a little bit better. Obviously the first 2 games didn't provide us an opportunity to do some of those things, but I thought by no means do I think we played even what I would consider to be a really good game, but I thought there were some really good efforts out there and some positive things and things that we can build off of moving forward. And the blitz piece was one of them. Go ahead.
Where are you at with your linebacker core? Right? The 3 guys you thought were starting a month ago.